Across Russia, over the last 2 days, there's been a huge propaganda fest. There's three main propaganda channels: Russia 1, the first channel, and Russia 24, which is exclusively dedicated to news. And they've been drumming out propaganda day and night, not about the Russian military buildup, but about the humanitarian evacuation of Russian speakers from the Donbass area of the Ukraine. And that they fear that President Zelensky is going to attack the Donbass region. So far, of course, this follows in some ways the false flag narrative which has been projected, but it is rather brilliant at the same time because it also puts forward an entirely unexpected narrative of Russia and the Kremlin being humanitarian saviors. Russia is really mocking the West here, and this is a domestic message, which probably explains why it's not really getting into Western media. But there are many people that I've spoken to who still believe that this idea of an evacuation and the figures which are being given are untrue and improbable. But at the same time, it's a very provocative and interesting narrative. So, in the last 2 days, 6,000 people have been transported from the Donbass region to Rostov, and each one has been given 10,000 rubles, that's about a month's pay, and accommodation in various apartment blocks. Now, Rostov is a very poor area, and even to transport 6,000 people would require a huge transport logistical situation. I mean, it presents an enormous challenge. So that alone is questionable, and this may explain some of the build up in the region, if indeed any of this is demonstrably true. But on the television, this story demonstrates Russia's largesse and humanitarian credentials. And at 6,000 people in 2 days, of course, it also pokes fun at the sluggish evacuation by the West of our people in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, I'm told that there are rumors of more Wagner troops. These are the secret Kremlin-backed irregulars who are preparing to enter the Donbass region, and presumably, as they did in the first case, to seize the territory. So I think if they're being mobilized, I think the chances of the Russian troops that are gathered around the Ukraine, the chance of them moving is very unlikely. But these secret irregulars, what disturbance they can concoct, and can they actually manipulate the false flag scenarios that we've been told about? It's certainly not going to happen immediately, but it may well happen in the foreseeable future. So this is quite an extraordinary scenario which is being played out, and I think again we're not fully appreciating the complexity of the planning, and the variety of different plans which I think are in action at the same time. So it's not just one plan. There's a whole range of different scenarios, any one of which could be implemented. And it's just keeping the West on its toes, and it's intimidating the Ukraine, of course, but at the same time, and this is what's so extraordinary, it's sending out a very, very reassuring message to the domestic audience back home across Russia. So this is the first stage of President Putin's presidential campaign, I would suggest. Do follow the channel. Do ring the bell. Let me know what you think of this. And if you've got any insight into this, please add your comments.